Since the creation of Pong, the first video game in 1958 by Atari, video games have become one of the nation's most popular pastimes. Its rapid development from then to now has been exponential. Whether it is better graphics, new concepts, or multiplayer online, video games have constantly gotten better and better. One main demographic for video game companies such as Sony, the creator of PlayStation, and Microsoft, the creator of Xbox, are people under the age of 18. According to Statsa.com, 28% of people who play video games are under the age of 18. Game developers such as Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite, market their games to the younger players by creating a cartoony and fun game with no blood or gore. Because of this, many teens play video games when they get the chance. According to Barn.com, teens spend 42% of their time playing video games. All of this time playing video games physically, socially, and psychologically affects these teens. Many video game players struggle with extreme rage when failing a level, being eliminated, and so on. Let's look at an example.
No! Are you kidding me? Oh my God!
As you can see, this disgruntled teen suffers from extreme rage when being eliminated in Fortnite. But how does extreme rage affect your body? According to BetterHelp.gov, rage and anger causes headaches, high blood pressure, increased anxiety, and depression. Here are a few examples of streamers expressing extreme rage when playing Fortnite.
No, I can't place a wall because of the fence, man! No! 1 HP! Are you out of your mind? Oh my God! Ah!
Really?
Along with the physical problems with rage on the body, rage can cost a gamer hundreds of dollars. Here are a few examples of money costing rage.
Ah, you died.
Shut up! Ah!
Getting offline, guys. Later.
As you saw, these gamers destroy their keyboard, monitor, and chair when becoming enraged. Many gaming keyboards sell upwards of $100. Many gaming chairs sell upward of $200, and monitors sell for around $100.
Another issue with video games is its physical effects. One of these is obesity. According to the CDC, more than 1/3 of children in the U.S. are overweight. The researchers found that children who do not play video games had only a 6% chance of being overweight. Those who played an hour of games per day saw their chances rise to 9%. 2 hours a day bumped that to 17%, and 3 hours of gaming per day resulted in a 23% chance the child would become overweight, according to the HHS government. One study of 22 normal weight teens found that gaming led the boys to eating an extra 163 calories per day. Researchers report in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition that these kids tend to eat unhealthy snacks while gaming due to their convenience and simplicity. A study from McMaster University surveyed 125 children and youth between the ages of 9 and 17 as part of a larger study on children's sleep and physical activity. Researchers collected information about abdominal obesity measurements at both the start and the end of a 6-week period. The participants were given Fitbit devices to measure their physical activity, sleep quality, and sugar intake. Video game playing times were recorded through self-reporting questionnaires. 85% of these kids played video games within 4 hours of going to sleep. This was linked to larger waists, worse sleep quality, and higher sugar intake when compared to kids who played during the day.
Children's social skills are also negatively affected by video games. Kids who play video games lack certain social abilities. Some kids avoid family interactions and hang out with friends to play video games. This leads to many disorders such as ADD, ADHD, and bipolar disorders. Drug abuse can also be caused by gaming. Here is an example of a strained relationship.
I don't care. You got to get a job. What is this out of your room for one? What is this achieve? What does that mean? What is this going to do? Mowing my games over. Maybe you'll quit playing for a while, get a job, pay some of your bills. I'm never going to quit playing.
Here we can see a father-son relationship ruined by gaming. The dad destroys the son's video games because they are causing him to be a burden on the family. The son is very upset as he had grown attached to these games. Along with family relationships, video games can ruin dating relationships. Many times a video game player decides to play the game instead of spending time with their partner. Here's an example of an extremely jealous girlfriend.
Honey, I'm at my mother's house. You're probably wondering, where did your Xbox go? I have it right here. And you know what? I am sick of you spending all your time on your Xbox more than you're spending time with me. And you know what? I'm going to smash the sucker. This is what I think of your Xbox. This is what I think of your Modern Warfare! Your Halo! Your frickin' Xbox 360! Always no time with the guys! Always no time for dinner!
Video games also cause a financial burden on people. Americans spent $36 billion in 2017 on video games. Another way money is spent on video games is on mobile devices. Mobile games either cost money or are free but have in-game purchases. For example, with the mobile game Clash of Clans, in which you create a base and upgrade the buildings and troops within it, is free to play. However, there are in-game purchases. You can buy gems, which speed up the process of upgrading buildings, troops, and so on. Here's an example of someone spending an immense amount of money on Clash of Clans.
Of course, there's also Panda, which is obviously not his real name, but still. Panda is someone who claims to have spent roughly 7% of his income each month on Clash of Clans. How much did he spend exactly at that point in time? More than $7,000 in little over a month. His response? You don't have to spend less, you have to earn more, which is certainly one way to look at it.
69% of all Fortnite players have spent money on the game. They spend an average of $85 on the game. In extreme cases, kids have maxed their parents' credit cards in order to get V-Bucks. In one case alone, a kid spent $1,250 on Fortnite. The average teen spends $184 a year.
Another aspect of life that video games affect are academics. Many students go home and play video games instead of doing homework or studying. According to a study done by the University of Ohio, kids who played video games at a younger age had lower test scores than kids who didn't. Also, the kids' reading and writing skills did not develop as good as kids who didn't play video games. In this study, the kids played an average of 40 minutes of video games a day, which probably took out a lot of time from studying and doing homework. Another study selected 64 boys from around the US. They gave half of them a gaming console and made sure the other half didn't have one until the study was over. In just 4 months, negative effects happened to the kids who played video games. They spent less time studying and doing homework. They also did worse on standardized testing and were more likely to have their teacher report academic problems. In conclusion, video games affect kids and teenagers' lives in a negative way. They could suffer from health problems such as headaches and obesity. Their social skills and relationships are also strained by video games. Lastly, they can also suffer from financial consequences and underperformance in school.